4 decades of effortless banter, millions of solved puzzles, and a wheel that seemed as permanent as gravity. And then, one late-night tweet, "Season 41 will be my last." Just like that, the calmest man on television cracked the calm. Was it burnout, boardroom power play, or something far more intimate? Let's start where the wheel stopped. Pat Sajak didn't stage a press conference. He didn't hint on air. He simply typed 16 casual words into social media and watched them ricochet around the world. Season 41, he joked, felt like the right time to exit a couple years early instead of 1 year late. Fans refused to laugh. They raced to their living rooms, imagining the puzzle board without its steady guide, and felt an unexpected chill. Within 48 hours, the studio confirmed the timeline. Pat would tape through the spring, air his swan song in early June, and then retreat off-camera into an advisory role. To soften the shock, executives teased a farewell week packed with nostalgia montages and never-before-aired bloopers, comfort food for a nation emotionally attached to nightly word games. But an even bigger headline lurked in the wings. It arrived the following Monday, as if Hollywood had a stopwatch on suspense. Ryan Seacrest, broadcasting's Energizer Bunny, signed on as the new host. The ink wasn't just fresh, it was still dripping when industry blogs proclaimed a changing of the guard. A younger demo, streaming partnerships, social media crossovers, buzzwords flew faster than vowels on sale day. Whispers followed. Advertising chiefs longed for kinetic energy, board members worried about aging viewership, and a polite consultant title was corporate code for easing the icon toward the exit. Inside Sony's glass offices, the official line was harmony. Outside, rumor mills clanked like loose gears. Some insiders claimed Pat actually negotiated the 3-year consultancy himself to guarantee a smooth handoff, to secure staff jobs, maybe simply to pocket a gentle golden parachute. Whatever the motive, the deal turned public curiosity into a full-blown guessing game. At least one figure calmed fans. Vanna White quietly extended her contract. If Vanna's staying, the comment section sighed, the show's heart still beats. Yet even that reassurance couldn't silence questions about how far a facelift would stretch before it snapped the show's familiar smile. Of course, a facelift isn't planned in the dark. It's usually triggered by blemishes no amount of makeup can hide. Pat Sajak once glided through pop culture like Teflon. Then the social media era sharpened every sarcastic quip into potential shrapnel. In 2014, a tongue-in-cheek tweet about climate activists detonated across the internet. A few years later, he mimicked a contestant's speech slip. The clip went viral, with half the viewers laughing and half demanding an apology. And in 2023, a playful headlock on a burly competitor divided the audience again. Wasn't that just old-school showmanship, or did it cross a modern line? None of these moments toppled ratings, but each carved a tiny notch into the host's once untouchable aura. Boardroom strategists took notes. Younger audiences expect friendlier tone, digital natives amplify every micro-moment, and sarcasm ages faster than studio lights. The friction didn't throw Pat off balance. He'd weathered Vietnam radio gigs and live television, yet it did grind behind-the-scenes gears, greasing the argument for generational change. Still, controversy alone rarely drives a man to abandon his lifelong stage. Something deeper had been gnawing long before hashtags piled up. November 2019. A sudden blockage near Pat's intestines demanded emergency surgery. While surgeons worked, Vanna White stepped into the host's podium, and viewers got a glimpse of the wheel without its master. Ratings held, but the moment was sobering. Behind the grin, Pat faced mortality not as a late-night joke, but as a hospital beep. Recovery was successful, yet something shifted. Taping days, 5 episodes shot back-to-back, had once been a point of pride. Now they felt punishing. The studio's chilly air conditioning dug into bones. The wheel's neon glare seemed a notch brighter, and the easy joke about too many spins turned into quiet truth. At 77, the cost-to-joy ratio changed, and for a man who once embraced meticulous balance, the ledger suddenly looked lopsided. But health concerns nudge, family pulls. Friends describe a conversation between Pat and his daughter Maggie, now the show's cheerful social correspondent. Over coffee sometime in 2022, he admitted spinning letters was exhilarating, but he wanted mornings without alarm clocks, flights without red eyes, and afternoons where a grandchild might chase puzzle pieces across a living room rug. His wife Leslie had stood by through 40-plus seasons of taping blocks and publicity tours. Their son Patrick, once a toddler running through studio hallways, is now a practicing doctor. Family dinners were still warm, but increasingly rare. Pat imagined long drives up the California coast, crossword races with his son, and Sunday barbecues where he could burn burgers without worrying about voice fatigue. Then came an unexpected offer. An old colleague in Honolulu asked him to headline a summer revival of Prescription Murder. It was theater, live, intimate, one performance per night instead of 5 camera-strafed episodes in a single afternoon. The idea lit him up. Suddenly, retirement sounded less like retreat and more like reinvention. Even a dream needs closure, and closure in true Sajak style arrived wrapped in understatement. Final taping day, contestants milled backstage, crew members wore hidden earpieces, and audience members clutched tissues. Pat walked on set to a longer than usual standing ovation. He cracked a joke about folks who just showed up for free vowels, but his smile quivered at the edges. When the last puzzle lit up and confetti settled, the lights dimmed for a farewell reel. Baby-faced Pat flipping cue cards in the 80s, Vanna's very first letter turn, bloopers of contestants blurting hilarious mispronunciations. Then the podium camera zoomed close. Pat's goodbye was short, almost plain. This half hour was always meant as a safe place. No politics, no shame, just a game. You let a Chicago kid borrow your living room night after night. I hope we made it worth the time. He thanked the crew, whose names you never see but whose fingerprints are on every episode, then turned to Vanna, calling her my professional other half. Serious about the work, never serious about herself. Tears escaped Vanna's mascara, and Pat's voice cracked. Finally, he pointed at the night's contestants, reminding everyone the real stars weren't behind the desk, but trying to guess a phrase under pressure. The studio went silent, savoring the last note of that famously calm baritone. The wheel stopped spinning, but the carousel of speculation roared louder than ever. Ryan Seacrest's debut was set for September. The promo campaign hammered one reassuring line: "Don't change what works." Yet change was inevitable. The set designers brightened the backdrop, the social feeds sprouted TikTok teasers, and streaming bundles promised same-night episodes on tablets. Fans debated whether Ryan's caffeinated energy would clash with the show's mellow charm. Commentators wondered if word puzzles and cash prizes could thrive in an era of short-form dopamine hits. Vanna's presence anchored familiarity, but even she acknowledged the chemistry would shift. Meanwhile, Pat's consulting clause let him linger off-camera, a quiet watchdog ensuring the puzzle board's transition to its new guardian. Some insiders predicted a smooth ride. Others muttered about the spark that might fizzle if the new host pushed too hard or not enough. So did Pat Sajak. Time his exit like the perfect spin, stepping away before gravity caught him. Or did he sense storm clouds forming behind the neon wheel? One thing is certain. While America debates the answer, he'll be slipping backstage at a Honolulu theater, rehearsing a murder mystery, living mornings without studio lights, and maybe cheering for 3 fresh contestants from the comfort of his own couch. The game moves on, the wheel turns, and somewhere a familiar voice is finally at rest until the urge to solve a crossword strikes, and the one-time king of consonants grins, spins his pen, and wonders if anyone notices he's still playing. And if you'd like to keep this story going, just click the one waiting on your screen. It's already calling your name.